I feel like everybody's getting set up. Is that the signal? All right, good morning. Woo! Right, what a truly exciting day. From the first SkyTrain in 1985 to this moment right now, I want to welcome you to the future of SkyTrain. My name is Kevin Quinn. I'm the CEO at TransLink, and I want to begin by recognizing some individuals who are here today. We're joined today by Minister Gregor Robertson, Minister of Housing and Infrastructure, Minister Ravi Kahlon, Minister of Housing and Municipal Affairs, David Vanderwee, the Vice President of Rolling Stock at Alstom, and Councillor Alec Guerin from the Musqueam Indian Band, and we look forward to hearing from you all in a moment. I want to quickly mention that Mayor Brad West, the chair of the Mayor's Council, he was going to be here today. He's unable to join us due to a family emergency. I do want to acknowledge some additional special guests in attendance for their support, including members of Parliament, Parm Baines, Ernie Klassen, Zoe Royer, Gurbuk Sani, and Parliamentary Secretary Noor Mohammed. Thank you all so much for being here. I also want to recognize and thank the TransLink Board of Directors and the Mayor's Council for their support in this project, which includes Chair Lorraine Cunningham, Director Tracy Reddies, Director Harpinder Sandhu, and from the Mayor's Council, Vice Chair Malcolm Brody, Mayor Mike Little, Mayor Mark Sager, and Councillor Sarah Kirby-Young. So thank you all for being here as well. I'm going to share more in just a few minutes, but I do want to welcome Councillor Alec Guerin from the Musqueam Indian Band here for a blessing.
Nasiyam nasiya tolnaqa konasqui tanitanat Musqueam. I tanashqualwan quans e quatsnala. Haitsepka deshwellet quathami hui tana hunatas. Amit sep quathuilum e tana naash tatas Musqueamat tammo. Tashwaamets tas hunkaminum kan. E clu amit sep quathuilum e ta tum mark 5. Haitsepka siem nasiya haichka. My friends and relatives, my ancestral name is Tolnaqa, my English name is Alec Guerin, and I'm from Musqueam, where I'm an elected councillor. It brings me good feelings to be here with you all this morning for a couple of reasons. The first is that my people have been the guardians of the mouth of the Fraser River since time immemorial. That means that people wanted to come into the territories, access the waterways, the resources, they had to come through us. And it's a great privilege to be able to do the welcomes just like my ancestors did, to continue the work in a small way. The other reason I'm happy to be here is the same reason you're all here. You know, they say that the mark of a successful society is that the successful, the wealthy, the elite take public transit. And man, you should have seen the SkyTrain car I just came in. All joking aside, this is a really momentous day. And I really wanted to acknowledge the artists as well. There are artists from Musqueam, Squamish, Kwantlen. Is there another nation represented? Those three. And it's so important for us to see our identities on the territories on which we have stewarded from time immemorial. This train will go through multiple First Nations territories, and many of them will have their own artists represented on the train. And I want to extend my hands up in gratitude to everybody who made that possible. I think I was only supposed to have 2 minutes, so with that, I'll just say it's my great honor and privilege on behalf of my ancestors, my elders, and my people to welcome you to the unceded territory of the Huntkavinam speaking people of Musqueam. I want to also acknowledge the territories of the other nations, particularly those whose territories the train will go on as well. And I also said in Huntkavinam, welcome to the time of Mark V. Haitsepka Siyam Nisiyaya Haichka. Yeah, I forgot the one thing I was supposed to do, which was introduce the Honorable Gregor Robertson, Minister of Housing and Infrastructure in Canada. This is the first mayor I ever voted for, and we're so happy to see him representing us. Thank you.
Thank you, Alec. I'll begin by thanking Councillor Alec Guerin for getting us started in a good way, and acknowledge that we are here in this city very lucky to be situated on the ancestral homelands, the unceded territory of Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh, and always thankful for that. I want to thank everyone for being here today. It's great to see a crowded platform here, getting ready to ride the new Mark V trains, and really happy to see a good showing of our BC government MPs. This is the biggest caucus of BC Liberal members that have ever been in Ottawa. 20 of us that represent BC and the government side in Ottawa. So thanks to the team. And as I stand here, I have a bit of deja vu from announcements made a decade ago as we, I think, arrived in a Mark III SkyTrain to announce their entry into service. And at that time I was serving at City Hall as your mayor. A lot has changed over the last decade. All of us getting a little older and hopefully a lot wiser. In 2015, though, we were really struggling, and I note some of the mayors here, certainly Mayor Brody remembers this well, really struggling to get support from provincial and federal governments for the critical investments we knew we need to make in transit. We saw huge shifts with the Trudeau and then Horgan governments that made unprecedented investments, along with the partnership here in the region to fund our broadly supported 10-year vision. And that momentum continues, although it remains a challenge to keep up with the growth that the transit needs across the region. What hasn't changed is certainly my belief, and I think I'll share with all of us, that public transit is absolutely essential to the well-being of our communities. It's something that in my new work now as Minister of Housing and Infrastructure, I take to heart. And today we're here to celebrate the official launch of the Mark V SkyTrains, the first of 47 trains that are entering service starting here on the Expo line. Aujourd'hui, nous sommes tous ici pour célébrer le lancement officiel de nouveau SkyTrain Mark V, Mark V, avec la mise en service de la première des 47 rames de la ligne Expo. Effective transit makes life more affordable, fights climate change, reduces traffic, and unlocks cities' economic potential. It's connecting people to jobs, essential services, and local businesses. And the new train cars add much needed capacity for people, for commuters, than the current trains have, which addresses the ridership demand that's growing in the years to come and really improving accessibility, very important for people here in Metro Vancouver. As Councillor Guerin mentioned, the iconic design, Indigenous design, celebrates our Indigenous art with works from acclaimed artists here. That's a fantastic addition. Kudos to TransLink and the artists for that. There's one more thing I want to mention that makes the Mark V unique to the SkyTrain fleet. They were designed, manufactured, and tested in Canada. Canadian jobs. And so we'll hear from Alstom. I want to thank all the work that Alstom does, all of the workers who've made that possible, Canadian workers who've delivered with these Mark V SkyTrain cars, and those facilities across the country supporting Canadian workers and jobs at a really critical time for Canada. And that's, I know, with my colleagues here on the federal side in Ottawa, we want to do everything we can to be strengthening the Canadian economy and creating jobs for Canadians. So we have to keep that vision alive. We're doing that in part through our Canada Public Transit Fund. That is providing stable and predictable funding for our local governments, and as the needs increase, so will the funding. It goes up to $3 billion a year, starting in next year at $3 billion. So we need to be investing. Canadians want to be in livable communities. They want public transit to be close to where they live, where they work, where they celebrate, and that's why we can never stop investing in transit, building vibrant, resilient communities like Metro Vancouver where people can live and grow. Thank you. Merci tout le monde. I'll now pass on to my esteemed colleague, Minister Ravi Kahlon for BC.
I've never heard Gregor say esteemed before, so I had to take a moment just to let that soak in. Thank you so much. It's fantastic to be here. It's a special day, and it's a real pleasure to be here to celebrate the beginning of a new era of transit here in Metro Vancouver. This is the official launch of the Mark V SkyTrain, and it was a nice ride over. I rode the train down to Waterfront, and I got to ride the new train back. It's a smooth ride, and of course I had good company, which made it even better. But this is not just a new train. This is about advancing how we move, how we connect, and how we grow as a region. And this investment that we've made between TransLink, the federal government, the province, these partnerships are critical in ensuring that our economy continues to grow and that people can continue to move. And not only am I excited about this, but I'm also excited because we have two major SkyTrain expansions happening, thanks to the partnerships as well. We're going to be soon opening up the new transit line to all the way to Vancouver, as well as out in the Fraser Valley, one of the largest investments south of the Fraser in the history of this province. And all of that is done because of the incredible partnerships that we have. I want to just say that although we're here today celebrating this announcement, and it's lovely for some of us elected officials to be here, the hard work that was done by many people behind the camera is what I want to recognize. I want to recognize the folks who are here today that were part of the project being built, putting together the doors, putting the windows on, making this product across the country. I want to thank the people at TransLink who've been working on years of planning to be able to make this happen. I want to thank the mayors who have been steady in their advocacy for more transit and more investments. And of course, I want to thank our friends of the federal government who recognize and realize that the only way we can grow our region is by making investments in transit. Transit is an equalizer in our society. It gives everyone an opportunity to be able to participate in our economy and move around the region in a fair and equitable way. And today is a special day. I want to thank everybody for being part of it, and I want to thank everyone that's here. Thank you for your work. I see Bridget Anderson's here as well. I want to recognize Bridget for her advocacy on behalf of the business community as well. Thank you for being here today, Bridget. And let's get going with this train. Thank you. And I also fail to recognize the next speaker. I want to recognize David Vanderwee, who is the Vice President of Rolling Stock America, Alstom, who was my partner in coming down here today and explained to me how much work went into building these trains, the parts, where they came from, and I want to recognize their amazing work that they've done to make this a reality today. David, over to you.
Good morning, everybody. It is my pleasure to be here. And on behalf of Alstom and the hundreds of dedicated workers that manufactured these trains, it is absolutely my pleasure to be here to celebrate this inauguration. I would like to thank TransLink and your elected representatives that put their trust in Alstom to bring this project to life. It is a privilege to be here celebrating with you, and it really underscores about 40 years of collaboration, teamwork, and partnership. Alstom has long been a proud partner of Vancouver. In fact, the first generation of these trains were manufactured by Bombardier for the Expo and the Millennium Line. Since the merger of Alstom and Bombardier, we have carried forward proudly this legacy. And here we are, the delivery of the Mark V. These Mark V trains will serve the people of Vancouver for decades to come. What's really cool about these Mark V trains is that much of the change that brought them from the Mark III to Mark V comes from the users, the passengers, feedback from the people that TransLink has taken and brought to life with a little bit of help from Alstom. Moving from a 4-car train to 5-car train for the capacity, rearranging the interiors for comfort and accessibility. These are all features that come from feedback from the people. But these trains are also more than just a list of features and specifications. As some of the distinguished speakers said before very eloquently, it's about bringing benefit and quality of life to our society. It facilitates commerce, it removes congestion, it increases connectivity between our neighborhoods. It does all of these things and more. At Alstom, I have to say, we particularly admire the passion and leadership with which the leadership in Vancouver, particularly the leadership at TransLink, advocates to bring these benefits to life and in securing the resources and the funding necessary to make it happen. It's more than a Vancouver story. As Minister Robinson highlighted, these are trains that highlight the manufacturing capability and the industrial base of Canada for rolling stock. These are truly made by Canadians for Canadians. The pedigree is great. These are designed and built in town of St. Bruno, just a little bit south of Montreal. Then you go 4 hours east down the St. Lawrence River and you find a small town called La Pocatière. These are where the trains are built. Then they get shipped to Kingston, where we thoroughly test them, and Kingston is also involved in the design process. Once they're thoroughly tested, they come here to our facility that we share with BCRTC, and we commission them and we put them into service. But it's not just Alstom either. There's a robust network of Canadian suppliers across Canada, and in particular, two very important ones right here, 3 hours north and right over on Vancouver Island, providing vital systems in partnership with us. It is truly a national effort showcasing Canadian industry. Our commitment to Canada and local employment at Alstom is absolutely unwavering. No other train manufacturing has our footprint. We are at the same time global and national. We are very encouraged to see from the leadership at the provincial and federal level acceleration of infrastructure projects that are within a procurement framework where those investments really maximize the benefit for taxpayers, they maximize job creation, and they maximize innovation right here at home. In closing, I want to thank all of you for your trust and partnership. We're proud to be on this journey with you. And to conclude, I'd like to reintroduce Kevin Quinn, CEO of TransLink.
All right, well, thank you so much, Councillor Guerin. Thank you, Minister Robertson, Minister Callan, and David for your kind words today. We've heard this morning about the partnerships, the investments, and the shared vision that has brought us all to this point. And so, look, I will keep this simple. Today is a big day for SkyTrain, and it is a big day for our customers. This announcement is about convenience. It's about a smoother journey. It's about moving us into the future. Today, we enter a new era for SkyTrain with the launch of the Mark V, designed with customers at the heart of every detail. Each 5-car train offers more space. The Mark V train can carry 25% or about 140 more customers compared to the Mark III. We've reworked seating layouts to create wider aisles. That's going to give customers more room to move throughout the train. There's new flex areas for people using mobility devices, strollers, bikes, luggage, because we know that every trip is different. We've also upgraded digital displays and door indicators, making it easier to navigate every ride safely and conveniently. These trains also have enhanced heating, ventilation, and cooling systems for a more comfortable ride in every season. Each train also features beautiful interior artwork designed by local indigenous artists that will decorate the windscreen in each of the 5 cars. And some of those artists have joined us today, and I want to thank them for the wonderful job they've done in making these new trains stand out. I know, right? And as Minister Robertson noted, we are also so excited about the fact that the Mark V was designed, tested, and manufactured right here in Canada. These trains are built to serve the region that we call home and will connect the people, places, and communities of Metro Vancouver every day. And I have to emphasize, though, this is just the beginning. Behind me is the first of 47 trains that will be entering service in the years ahead, and they are arriving at a pivotal moment to play a key role in preparing our network for the Broadway Subway and Surrey-Langley SkyTrain extensions. And by 2029, the full Mark V fleet will be in service, helping to ease overcrowding, boosting capacity on both the Expo and Millennium lines. Of course, none of this would be possible without strong partnerships. Partnerships with the Government of Canada, the Province of British Columbia, the Mayor's Council on Regional Transportation, our TransLink Board of Directors, and our delivery partners at Alstom and Hitachi. I also want to thank the staff at BCRTC who have worked tirelessly to ensure a smooth delivery of these trains. Yeah, I know, right? I want to especially thank President and General Manager Sani Zain, Tasia Balding, our Executive Director of Capital and Expansion Projects, and Michelle Wong, Principal of our Rail Expansion Program. You can hear him in the back whooping and hollering, right? There's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes, and so thank you to everybody in the enterprise for getting us to this point. I want to close just by reflecting on a few things. You know, look, this is more than just about trains, right? This is about delivering faster, smoother, convenient service for every rider every day. It's about keeping pace with a growing region, about keeping pace with the incredible investments that we've made in expanding SkyTrain and meeting the needs of future generations. And it's about coming together to build a stronger, more connected Canada, starting right here at home. Thank you so much for joining us today. I will now pass it over to Anita Bath, who will moderate our Q&A.
Thor, can I grab you up here? All right, so we're going to start off this Q&A with
Sure. So we will have this train in service tomorrow. Our goal is to have 47 full trains fully in service by 2029. And look, this allows us to retire the old Mark I trains. This will give us more capacity throughout the system with these newer, bigger trains. They're 25% bigger. Right now, we are seeing a good bit of growth on our system. Last year, we grew about 3%. People can feel it during the peak hours. They're crushed into those buses. They're crushed into those trains. And this will give us that more capacity to handle the ridership that we're seeing on our system. Yeah. Just this one train tomorrow. More to come, though. More to come.
All right, any other questions?
They're involved as well as part of our leading our automated train control system. That's right.
If you could just identify who you are and which outlet you're with, that would be great as well. Do we have any other questions? Part 5 related? Question back there.
With the 40th anniversary of SkyTrain coming up and these trains entering service. Is there any plans to paint a Mark V in the original Expo 86 colors to commemorate the anniversary?
We'll take that back.
Okay, so if there are no more Mark V questions, I will open the floor out to other questions for our speakers here. Although, Pinky, you have another question? Mark V related? Okay, so now there will be one question and one follow-up or outlet for the other speakers. Any questions? Okay, well, if there are no questions, then we will happily get on with the rest of the event. So right now we're going to be doing the ribbon cutting, and so Dan is going to help me here, but I'm going to ask all of you to get off the red carpet, and we're going to bring up Kevin Quinn, Mike Little with the Mayor's Council, Minister Gregor Robertson, Minister Ravi Kalon, Councillor Alec Guerin, Sani Zain, Lorraine Cunningham, Laurie Matheson, David Vanderwee, and Deputy Chief Randy Fincham. If you can all line up here on the yellow. Okay, Tazia Building, Michelle Wong. Tazia is our Director of Rail Expansion, and Michelle is the BCRTC Project Lead. Okay. Thank you so much. Oh, okay, Vince is going to take one more photo. Just let him.
There's only no space. Okay, everybody, your happiest space is still blinking. Here we go. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Come over, shine. In case something clicks. Great, thank you.
And if you can just hold where you are, Kevin will ask you to come over here. And we have some wonderful gifts for all of you. It is the beautiful artwork done by our Indigenous artists that is featured on the train. We've got some framed colored copies for you, and it's a little memento for you. And can we get our artists who are here today up front, please? Rain Pierre, Athena, Picha, and Rose Williams. And let's bring up Susie as well, Daryl's mom. Yeah. Just come over here. We'll do it. Or did you know? Okay. Oh. You guys can come this way. We'll just get them this way. No. Yeah. All right, let's stop. Okay, and hold up your artwork. Isn't it beautiful? Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, now we're going to bring the artists in. And we also have copies of your artwork. No. You're still gonna hold this.
Hold that.
I can hold it for now. Okay. While we take these pictures, let's give a round of applause for these beautiful pieces of artwork. And if you're in the back and you can't see the camera can't see you. So.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. One more time. Beautiful.
All right, wonderful. So we are now going to move on to some photos, extra photos. Can we get all elected officials over here, right up front? And if you want to hold the artwork, you can. If not, we can take it off your hands for now. Yeah. Or. So all elected officials, this is MPs, MLAs, mayors, council members.